Hello, welcome to another Priest Adventure. This week we're in Powder Springs doing the Wildhorse Trail. It's 3.4 miles easy. This is a true easy. We've done this one before. Now, we actually parked the truck here. There's a parking lot across the street where you're supposed to park at, but it was gated. They blocked it up for some reason. So we ended up having to park here, which is going to cut our trail a little bit short from what the ALLTRAILS app is. They got a nice overhang here, but we've done this before. You're going to notice that I'm in like no sleeves. It's because there is a water park over here, Seven Springs Water Park, which we're going to hit that with all the grandkids whenever they open at noon. It is 10:15 now, so we're going to spend a couple hours at the water park with all the grandkids and all our kids and everybody. So yeah, this is an easy trail. This is like walking the mall. This one's nice. It does have some washed out sections, which I'll probably get video of that. But we walked this about 2 years ago. We walked this, and I said we got to get this on video. It's in downtown Powder Springs. I mean, Tapp Middle School is right over there. We're actually going to cross over Hopkins Road, which I grew up on that street for a couple of years. So with that being said, this is going to be a nice walk. Let's get it. Now I'm shooting these videos actually a couple days apart but uploading them a week separate. We did the marble mine that's should be already posted. We actually did that 2 days ago, so that was an easy 2.5 mile, which was more like a moderate 2.5 mile. And in that video I said that I consider an easy, because I'm middle-aged and overweight, that I consider easy as a walk in the mall. Well, this is about as much of a walk in the mall that you can get. It is paved. It's almost like a bike path. It is all paved. Sorry, I got the hat on, so I'm gonna hide my face a little bit, but because I'll be wearing a bigger hat whenever I'm in the pool. But it's all paved. There's no elevation. I mean, you could ride rollerblades on this thing if you wanted to. You could roller skate it, and then all the sewer things, the drainage and all that stuff. I guess we're under the water table, so it sits up that high. And to decorate it, they just went in and painted all of them up like birds and stuff like that. So every single one of these are painted. Now there is graffiti on some of them. Some of them pretty well covered up with graffiti, but Powder Springs isn't what it used to be. I was raised here, went to McEachern High School, and it has definitely taken a turn over the last couple of decades. It's not like it was whenever I was in school back in the 90s. But that's just kind of everywhere. It all changes. I mean, it's got to change sometime. But yeah, we're just going to enjoy this walk, although the gnats are all over. So we'll get this walk done and get on back and get a review of this trail. And you can hear a lot of road noise because of Hopkins Road and Powder Springs Road and all that. And you're walking literally in people's backyards. There's houses. There's not much here. There are neighborhoods coming up over here. But this over here, we are literally in their backyard. So yeah, it's definitely different. It's not like walking Marble Mine or John's Mountain or anything like that where you're out away from everybody. There's another thing. It's a bear. That one's a bear. So wife is taking a quick break. We're gonna get back on it. Now the trail in its entirety, for the most part, is covered. It's shaded, so that is nice. There is no wind today, and the gnats are crazy. It's as of right now, almost 10:30 in the morning, and I think whenever I got to the truck, it was like 84 degrees. It's the middle of July again. So it's definitely warm. I'm not pouring sweat like I was on the mountain, just because we're not going up and down, and it's not all rocky and slick. So Powder Springs actually did this right whenever they did this trail with them concrete and the whole thing. It's got a big bridges, little creek running through. So it's nothing like it was a couple of days ago, or on that last trail. They have some benches here. I don't think I'd sit in those though, because it's kind of grown up over. Oh, it's kind of grown up over, so it's almost like you're begging to get ticks. And they got a bunch of these sewer line things. So you got a ladybug, a beaver, a bird, and I'm guessing that's a frog. It's kind of green. And again, it's got graffiti all over it. So I don't know who it is that decides they want to come down a path to here and graffiti up things that people have already painted. But that's all up to y'all. It could be worse. I mean, at least it's man-made stuff. It's not like, hello gnats. It's not like Nakalula Falls where they graffitied up all over the granite walls. You know, at least that was natural, and they graffitied all over that. These are just concrete. So if it looks like that, it just feels like you're in Atlanta. Looks like we're coming up to the road now. This crosses over Hopkins Road. And I spent a couple of years with my mom at Hopkins Court, Whispering Glen Townhomes. Not a bad place to stay at the time. It's definitely gone downhill since then. Me and my wife were doing that landscaping on the side for our daughter's company that she was working with at the time, and we ended up over here. We were going to have to cut grass at this one townhome that was a rental, but they hadn't got the trash out of it yet. It was still covered up with sofas and all that stuff where they evicted the people. But riding into there kind of took me back to being 14, 15 years old and living over here. And actually sent my mom a picture of our old house. Now here's a spot that it's washed over with sandy dirt, because whenever it rains, this does flood. It is a floodplain. That's why nobody's built on any of this back in here, because you can't build on it. You'd have to build up the ground, at least to where those sewer things are. So if you get a heavy rain the night before or anything like that, don't come walking this trail. It'll be flooded out. Okay, that's Hopkins Road. Straight across, stay on the concrete. This is not one where you're going to get lost. If you do, then there is seriously something wrong with you. You seriously have an issue. If you get lost on a paved trail and you get off path, there's nothing I can do for you on that. But all I can figure is you're a lieutenant at the best. So yeah, former enlisted here, so the jokes still stand. But it looks like we're walking along the creek. It's over there, it's down in like a little ravine type of thing. And then they put fences up for the gullies and stuff like that, I guess whenever it's raining, that will overflow into the creek. They don't want you going into that stuff. I wouldn't step anywhere off this trail just because of the this time of year, you got the snakes, and even worse than the snakes, you got the ticks. And those are the ones that'll really get you, make you really sick. So I don't like to get in anything too overgrown in the summer. In the winter, not so much, because I'm wearing pants, and if there's spots where I can't see my feet in the winter, I'm okay with that. The snakes are usually dormant and they're off hiding under rocks and stuff like that anyway. But this is still a good walk. I mean, if you lived in Powder Springs, this is definitely a place to go to get some exercise in. The Silver Comet Trail, which runs through Powder Springs, it starts up in, I can't remember where it starts. It starts actually it's at a hotel, so you could go stay a night in a hotel and then do the entire Silver Comet Trail. It's 60 miles. It takes you to the Alabama border, where it then turns into the Chief Legaida Trail. And what it is they tore up the old railroad tracks and made it into a walking path. Well, it's just like this. It's just as wide and concrete, but there are so many bikes on it that we tried to walk it one time, and we were just in the grass the entire time that we were walking it. And we had the grandchild. She was in a car, in a stroller, and we were having to dodge everybody on bikes. It's just not worth it for a walk. You know, something like this, like a walk and talk. It's not worth it. You're not gonna enjoy yourself. All you keep hearing is on your left, and you're over in the grass the entire time, just dodging people. So at some point, me and the wife are going to get bikes, and we'll do the Silver Comet. Whenever I do that, I would like to do it from beginning to end. So I'm going to do the whole 60 miles. There is a covered bridge, not a covered bridge, it's a tunnel that's in Paulding County that's the train tracks run over the top of. So you actually go through a tunnel that goes in there. So I definitely want to get video of that. But whenever I do that, this, which is a DJI Osmo Action, will get strapped to my head with a bike helmet, and we'll do that. I may have two of these by that time, so I can talk into one while recording on the other. I don't know. I'll figure that out whenever it comes around. We just haven't bought a bikes yet. So we have a truck that can haul it. I'd like to go to the La Quinta Inn at the beginning of it, stay the night, jump on the bike, and run it out. And if you give it your all, you should be able to cover that in a day. But I have a feeling that it would be like an overnight, so it'd be like a biking backpack type of thing. So if you're interested in that, comment. I've stopped saying the like, share, subscribe, stuff like that, because if you like it, you're gonna do it. I shouldn't have to remind anybody. I'm just gonna keep putting these videos out, and the people who want to see it, welcome. The people who don't, maybe it's not your bag, but I'm gonna keep doing it. So we're gonna be filming a lot more of the trips that we take. We're planning a trip to Gatlinburg next week, and it's ridiculous. We're going for one night, all because of the Smoky Mountain family. We watched them, gotten into their videos a lot here in the last couple of months, but they went to this place that just opened up, and they have pizza sticks. It's a pizza folded over and cut into sticks, and they coat it with garlic butter. And we were watching that and said, hey, that looks good. I'd like to try that out. So in the time of saying I'd like to try that out, we were driving, that I had the wife pull up the booking app and got our usual hotel, the Sidney James Lodge, where we stayed at for the chili cook-off. Get us another room there, And we're going up there and staying a night and swimming and all that stuff, all because of pizza sticks, because of the Smoky Mountain family. Just spontaneous planning. That's the best way to put it. It was just something that happened, and we said, why not? And we're going to make it happen next week. That, and we've been doing so much for the youngest with college and all that stuff, gives us a chance to get away for a night. So, and then that Saturday is his 18th birthday, so I don't know if we're doing anything for that or what's going on, but I know we'll be back home in time for that. But yeah, we're going all the way to Gatlinburg because of pizza sticks. Can't make this up. Okay, taking a quick break. I'm underneath the bridge here, and the creek is widened out. Got a little slower, but it's still moving. Again, tall arm rails here where you can't really get over there to it, so there's really no access to water. I mean, if you wanted to jump it and take a chance of getting, I mean, there's a big gap where people have broken out from here, but you take a chance on snake bit or ticks, and I'm not about that. So I do have bottled water with me. I'm about to stop and get me a sip. And this trail actually ends at the Silver Comet Trail. So if you were living in Powder Springs, if you were living in the neighborhood that we were just in, and you wanted to do the Silver Comet with a bike, you could ride this to the beginning of it and do the Silver Comet, do a section of it. So that's pretty cool. It does give you a pretty quick access. I mean, what, almost 2 miles out here to it, and then you can do however many miles on the Silver Comet that you want to. And for what it's worth, the Silver Comet it's had its issues over the years. There was a murder on it out here in Paulding County. I'd have to look up the details of that one. I know that there was a female that was attacked and was covered up with some branches on the side of the road, or side of the trail, and they found her. That was a number of years ago. Since then, I don't think there's been anything else of severe issue. You know, something a little here and there, but nothing as bad as that. So, you know, if you do the Silver Comet, if you do any of this stuff, be prepared. Know what's going on around you. You know, keep your head on a swivel. Know where it's safe. And I got bear spray on my bag. It's not necessarily just for bear. You know, and I'm in swimming trunks and my shirt that I usually wear to the pool, but normally I have a little something on me. Today I didn't bother because it's Powder Springs. I'm from here. I know what's going on here, and if I have to, face full of bear spray wouldn't be a bad idea. So we should be coming up towards the end of this trail here pretty soon. And there's another bridge up here. This is the Silver Comet Bridge, I believe. It's an old, like, train trestle. Yep, there's somebody on a bike going past it right now. Not on a bike, on a skateboard. Somebody's blowing up my phone. So yeah, that's the Silver Comet Bridge, one of them. It's an old train trestle that they converted over to make it into it. And I don't know who it was that made the Silver Comet Trail. I know it's not the railroad that did it, but they did a good job. And here we go. I think I actually got a picture of that from the last time I did this walk. Maybe. I can't remember if I took one or not. I know I had my camera with me. And this is about the only bit of elevation that there is on this trail going up to the Silver Comet. So, and even then it's not too bad. And that is Silver Comet Trail. Actually runs right up alongside here. The ALLTRAILS app actually went up and then turned and walked up this way a little bit. But again, I think it follows the first person that does these trails and not a consensus of everybody that does these trails. Also, whenever you're walking up the hill, there's a fenced off area here. There was actually a couple of horses here the last time we were here. I don't see them out today. I think they're in the stables. I can see them sticking their heads out of the stables. So, but yeah, the trail, whoever walked it first, went up and then turned right and walked the Silver Comet Trail for a little bit. So I have a feeling this is going to be a little shorter than what it says on the app. And I'm sweating, so I'm starting to see sweat through my headband because I'm pouring sweat. I'm getting a workout in. So we'll get to the end of this trail. I've turned around and started walking back, and once we get to the end of this trail, I'll give my review of it, and we'll see how it ends up. I am looking forward to, it's not even 11 o'clock yet, but we got to stand in a line to get in because the place gets so crowded. So I am looking forward to getting into that water though. It seems odd to me that I'm on a trail, paved trail, but it's a trail nonetheless. And there is a massive house right there. Well, it's not massive. It's a bigger home. It's about like ours. Yeah, it's a neighborhood right there. A whole bunch of cars in the parking lot, in the driveway. And here I am just walking a trail. If Steve Wallace would come this far south, he'd go crazy stealth camping this place. There are so many places that you could just step right off trail and you wouldn't be able to see anything. I mean, 10 yards in and there's nothing. You wouldn't be able to see a thing. And he could set up a neon orange tent and you still wouldn't know it was there. It is hot and steamy, so hydrating. Cheers. And Hopkins Road is right there, so I don't know if you can hear the road noise. I love this microphone. This microphone is great. It's a mini Rode mic, little shotgun mic that amounts to this Osmo Action. It cuts so much of that background noise out and aims towards your face, so it's great. Well worth the money. So I'm gonna chug some more of this. I've got sweat just running down me like crazy because it's hot. And at least there's no blazes. I don't have to have a blaze nightmare like I did last week, or the other day. So at least there's that. And again, it's a Saturday morning. I'm the only person on this trail. I have yet to see anyone on this trail. And the last time we were here, there was nobody around, but it was during the week. I figured on the weekend there'd at least be a few people on it. So I want to finish this up, making my way back to the truck. We're heading back to Hopkins Road now, about to cross it. There is a crosswalk here with a light. Although whenever I was heading this way and hit the button, it didn't change. So I don't know if it's busted or what. So we're gonna try it. See what happens. Fun little story about Hopkins Road. Oh, I can walk. Fun little story about Hopkins Road. Growing up over here at Whispering Glen, it was a rougher neighborhood. Back then, the townhomes were a little cleaner. They were a little nicer than what they are now. Now there's fences everywhere with beware of dog signs all over the place. Back then it was all open. You could walk anywhere, anybody's backyard. And every day to and from school, because we had to walk to the end of the neighborhood, to the Hopkins Road to catch the bus. Every day walking to school, I had long hair, black leather jacket, Metallica and Megadeth t-shirts, all black, you know. I was all into metal then. Still am now, but I have a shorter haircut. But every day to and from school, I was offered drugs and a gun. Every day. From the same two kids. I was offered weed and a 22 Derringer for $100 every single day. And every single day I turned it down. But nah, I'm good. I don't need it. And never had any issue with anybody there. My brother actually got into a pretty big fight with a whole group of kids. And then whenever he did that, he moved in with our dad. So I stayed there for about another year or so until I turned 16 and went to go live with my dad to get a car. And that's the only reason why I moved out of there, was to go get a car. Other than that, the neighborhood itself was fine. It was whenever I went off into the service that my mom sold that place and moved out to Paulding County. So she bought a home out there and then never looked back to Powder Springs again. And I was floored whenever I found out there was a hiking trail here, because we had gotten into all the hikes. And I was floored to find out that it was at just down the street from the middle school that I went to. So we parked there, and my ex-brother-in-law, actually my ex-sister-in-law and her husband, owned a house in this neighborhood. We used to go there all the time. And I had no idea that they had made anything like this down in here. I couldn't tell you how long ago they made it. The deer track. The doe track. But I couldn't tell you how long ago it was that they made it. It's been around for a minute, it looks like. But it sure as heck wasn't here whenever I was coming over here to my ex-brother-in-law's house. So Powder Springs is trying to clean it up. They're trying to make it nicer, you know, with the water park, with this. Hopkins Road now has disc golf and a pedestrian park down there. And they never had any of that stuff whenever I was living over here. When I was living over here, it was a ghetto. It was basically considered, Whispering Glen was called the Glen. It was even for back then, although it was clean, it was a rougher place to stay compared to any place else in Powder Springs. But now, if somebody was to move into the Glen, if somebody was to buy up purchase all those townhomes, clean them up, because they're seriously going into disrepair. They're looking really, really rough. Clean up the outside of them, paint them up, you know, get rid of all the fences. It would be a really great little place to rent or own. Maybe even make it like a 55 and up community type of thing. And control the rents there. Have an HOA. Cut the grass. Like my mother-in-law's place is a 55 and up, and their grass gets cut. Their places get pressure washed every year. Their driveways, their homes. And then they have a what do you call it? Like a banquet place in the front that you can rent for like $25 for parties. So if they were to do something like that with the Glen, they could really turn that place around. But as of right now, it is rough. It is really rough driving in that neighborhood. You're locking your doors. And to top all that off, I wore the wrong shoes today. I wore my gym shoes that I wear to work out instead of wearing my hiking shoes, and I'm rubbing a blister on the back of my ankle right now, on the heel. It is It's going to be ugly by the time I get back to the truck. So get back to the truck and get back into some Crocs and I'll be good, but I have a feeling I'll have band-aids on it tomorrow because this is not the right pair of shoes and not the right pair of socks to wear for something like this. So wear the right shoes. I just had to take a quick break and put a bandage on the back of my heel because I have worn it down to bleeding. So yeah, I wore the wrong shoes for today, and these bandages that come with the little hiker's first aid kit suck. I'm going to be replacing all of these because this bandage will not stick. So I have a small first aid kit. It is waterproof, so it's got a metal or a plastic waterproof case. I'm putting this in my pocket, by the way. I'm not littering. It's got a small waterproof case, and it's got, like, you know, sting ointment and your go-to usual stuff. But I'm gonna go through that and replace it with name brand bandages and all of that stuff. So that first aid kit's gonna get an overhaul. And it looks like we're coming up to the end of the trail. So I'm gonna finish this out. I'm gonna get to the truck. I'll give my review, give what some other people have said, 1 star and 5. And then we're gonna hang this up, put on sunscreen, wait in line, and get into some water. So I should be back with y'all in just a second or two. Or maybe about a minute, because I like to do the little montage of the walks with the music at this time before I get to the review. So enjoy this montage. Okay, we're back at the truck. I'm actually gonna lose this bag, hold my water. Again, it's another day of me forgetting my dry fit hanky. Let's see if I got one. Haha, I got one. I always keep them in the truck. My wife said, "You are sweaty." Yes, I am. It is hot as crap out here. Hey, let me see. It is 11:20 in the morning. It's 86 degrees. That is insane. This is stupid. Still haven't figured out why I live down here. Tornadoes, I guess. I don't know. I guess because of tornadoes. I just like tornadoes. But Wildhorse Trail. So Wildhorse Trail. Here's some reviews of it. There's a 1-star from a week ago from a Karen Meadows. With the amount of shade, the path doesn't dry. Sticks, branches, leaves, rocks, etc. cover the trail and make it hard to navigate. Slipped on slimy part. I'll stick with Noonday Creek or Silver Comet. Now, I haven't seen Noonday Creek, but Silver Comet, no thanks, because of all the bikes. Yes, it is shaded. I actually like it because it's shaded. You're not out in the sun. You're not roasting. I mean, you look at me, I got a farmer's tan from crap because of my job, and I really don't need to burn my shoulders. Noonday I need to check out. I need to check that one out. I got to look into it. But it's not hard to navigate. That was a week ago. We have had some rain, but it's not that bad. And I could see some spots getting slick. The last time we did it, it was slick in some spots. We had to walk in the grass just to get around it. So maybe a little too picky there, Karen. C-A-R-R-I-N, not K-A-R-E-N, but it's still a Karen. Here's one from July of 22, so a year ago, from Marlena Poss. A nice quiet trail. It has some washed up dirt, etc. because it's rained a lot, but it's paved and nice. Exactly. Quick and to the point. That's all you need to do. It's paved, it's nice, it's flat. It's got that one little incline at the very end of it, which is nothing. Not like it was the Marble Mine. I got a car coming up behind me. Hello, car. So for ours, it was rated at 3.4 miles easy. Now, granted, we did not do the from the parking lot to here, which is a couple hundred, maybe 100 yards, and then I didn't do the extra Silver Comet down like it does on the ALLTRAILS. I just went to the end, turned around, and came back. And we did it in 3.39 miles. Now, if you did the Silver Comet part of it and you walk from the parking lot, you're going to get a little bit closer to 3.5. That's still okay. There's still nothing wrong with that. It's within a tenth of a mile, so I'll take that. It was completed just over an hour for 3.4 miles, right at. I like it. It's a great little place to go work out, to get a walk in, to get a couple miles down. It is not crowded at all. I've yet to see anybody on that trail, and that's what makes it awesome. The parking lot is big, but of course they had it gated off for some reason today. I don't know why. It was locked up. Normally you park over there and walk straight across the street. Now this is a three-way stop that's right here, so it's going to be easy to get out of, and the pool is at the top of the hill. So we're going to make our way up there and get in line. I know that at least half the grandkids are already up there now. The other ones should be showing up in a bit. So with that being said, and I know my hat's like nasty, it's all wet from sweat, but that's kind of how it goes. With that being said, I really enjoyed this one. This is a nice walk. It's a nice walk. It's a good sweat, and if you live in Powder Springs, it's a great place just to go and spend a couple hours before you go get into a pool. And with that, join us on our next adventure. Thanks. Bye.